Food is something so many people love. Who wouldn't want a churro that is a deep-fried donut that is crispy and covered in sugar? I have never had the opportunity to visit a different country, but I know if I did, I would want to know when I would get to eat and what type of food I would be eating. I'm going to discuss the most popular meals throughout a typical Spain day, starting with breakfast, lunch, a late afternoon snack, and finally dinner. To start the day off, let's discuss what breakfast is like in Spain. Breakfast, also called el desayuno, is not real common in Spain unless someone needs something to calm their stomachs. According to Spanish Meals and Customs article, most people start their day off with a cup of café, also known as a cup of coffee. I know many people in America who start their morning off with a cup of coffee because it makes them wake up. Spain and America have small things in common, especially in the morning hours. Spaniards tend to eat different foods on the weekends or holidays rather than throughout the weekdays. On the weekdays, they just grab something easy and take it as they go out the door. But on the weekends or holidays, a Spanish Meals article said that more of the Spaniards take time to eat breakfast in the mornings instead of just having a cup of coffee. After breakfast, most of us get hungry when it is almost noon, but it is only a few hours for us. In Spain, Spanish Meals talked about how Spaniards have to wait for lunch until 2 o'clock at the earliest, and then when they get hungry, they have to drink more café or coffee to tide them over because they don't get to eat lunch until later. Lunch, also called la comida, is the meal of the day that all Spaniards are sure to eat. I thought it was really interesting that in the article about Spanish meals, something was mentioned about the Spaniards who got to take time off of work to go home and have lunch with their families. Siesta is the time that Spaniards take time off to go home and have a big long lunch break, between 2 and 4 usually. For lunch, Spanish Meals said Spaniards almost always have some kind of bread, a drink, and dessert for lunch. In a book I found on Google Scholar that was titled Food Culture in Spain, it said that every family eats differently depending on the amount of income they have. Food culture in Spain described how the lower class families would not get expensive kinds of meat or have big dinners. They would eat a lot of vegetables, fruits, cheaply processed meat, a lot of bread, sardines, and cod because it was all cheap. The book also explained how the more money the families had, the better quality and quantity of meat they received. Who doesn't like a mid-afternoon snack between lunchtime and dinner? I know I do. Spaniards have a late afternoon snack, also called la merienda, that tides them over until dinner. As I was reading through Spanish Meals, I was shocked at how late the Spaniards eat dinner, so I could understand why they have a late afternoon snack. When I get home from school or work, I like to eat a little snack such as an apple, a snack cake, popcorn, or whatever I have in the pantry. Spaniards eat small things like I mentioned also, so they will not starve until 11 o'clock at night when they finally get dinner. Sometimes Spaniards don't necessarily eat an afternoon snack because they will have a cup of coffee, according to Spanish Meals. I have learned throughout reading the Food Culture in Spain book and the Spanish Meals article, the Spaniards love coffee. Finally, after they eat or drink their late afternoon snacks, they get to have dinner. Dinner, also called la cena, is really late at night in Spain. According to Spanish Meals and Customs, Spanish Meals article, Spaniards don't usually go eat dinner at restaurants until at least 8 o'clock in the evening, which is an early dinner for them. I never like to eat dinner late at night because it is not very healthy. It is a lot better to eat an early dinner so that your food can digest before lying down in bed for many, many hours. In the book, Food Culture in Spain, a dinner dish called lamb and membrillo quince stew was something that the Andalusian Spaniards ate in the eastern part of Spain because they are considered lamb, also known as meat, a luxury due to the family income. I would not consider lamb a luxury meat because I have tried lamb chops before at Outback Steakhouse and they are not very good at all. Spaniards eat food that I would never even consider eating. such as stew, because I'm not a stew fan at all, and I only really like to eat chicken, beef, or pork. Today I've discussed the 4 main Spanish dining meals. First, I discussed how breakfast in Spain is not very important, but lunch is very important. I would like to be able to take a long break in the middle of the day to have a big lunch with my family, but it's not like that in America, only in Spain. I then talked about how I think America and Spain are similar in a way that most of us have afternoon snacks in between lunch and dinner, and Americans and Spaniards drink lots of coffee also. America is not similar to Spain at dinner time though, because in Spain they eat real late at night, and most Americans eat dinner between 5 and 7 o'clock in the evening. I don't like going to bed with a full stomach, so I usually eat dinner around 5 so that my food has plenty of time to digest before I go to bed. Food does need time to digest, not just sit in the stomach, because it's not healthy for you if you go to bed with a full stomach. Now, just because Spain has crazy dinner meal times doesn't mean other countries will also. Spain would be very interesting to go and visit. The first thing I would do if I ever had the chance to visit Spain would be to try a churro, a crispy donut covered in sugar. That sounds really, really good. See you later!